We're recording, ready to go.
Yay! So how's it getting better than this? Welcome everybody to Would You Like to Be a JCF? What's a JCF? A Joy of Business Facilitator. What is one of the most important things you need to know? You need to wear red. See, Heather, good girl. Sarah, Barney. It's very funny. It's one we didn't even, years and years ago, the Joy of Business logo, JOB, was created from a lipstick color that I was wearing. And Stephen Outram did the logo for me. Somebody's making lots of screeching noise. Can we mute them? Who's got in the background?
It looks like 614-716-4220.
Yeah. An Aussie. They're off now. Okay. So anyway, the Joy Business logo was created from the color of my lipstick years ago. Stephen Ashlam did it, and it was so simple, and it wasn't significant, and it was just done, created, and it's been amazing how the color red has become. I like the way Katarina just put red lipstick on. Beautiful. And has become the color. So anyway, just a little fun fact for you guys. So if you have questions, like Sarah said, please ask away. I'll talk first of all about how Joy Business got started and why we're doing it, sort of thing, I guess. I've been working with Gary Douglas and Dane here for about 15 years. And at the beginning, the first few years, we were, I organized my first level 2 and 3 ever. It's like I always loved to, get involved in things and create. I've always desired to create. I've always looked at business as one of the most creative things that you can ever do and be. Because for me, you can change it all the time. It's not, now I own a business, I must stick to this business and must pass it on to the family and have it for 75 years, etc. It's like, no, you can have many, many, many different businesses. And I have done so many different things. I've invested in businesses. I've received investment. I've made lots of money. I've lost lots of money. I've done it all, and none of it is right and none of it is wrong. What it is creation. And to me, that's what it is. And it's very interesting. We get a lot of people saying, oh, I can't come to your classes, the Joy Business classes, because I don't have a joy of business. No, you don't have to have a joy of business. What you have to have is blood running through your veins and the willingness to create. So, and a lot of people saying, oh, I can't come to your classes because I don't have a business. I quite often refer to that if you wake up in the morning and you have blood running through your veins, then you're in business, because your life is your business. This is it. You're creating it. And it's like, is it the way you'd like to live? Or would you like to add something else? So you could be working for someone, with someone. It's like, have a business, even have a zillion ideas. One of the catastrophes I see is the creators of the world, which are so humanoid, and they have 50 billion ideas. And they've spent their entire life going to the wrongness of them and sitting in judgment because they haven't allowed those ideas to physically actualize. And then what we look at is, okay, so you're a creator, what else can you add? And it's like you start looking at the energies that a business requires so you can add something to it to physically actualize all of these brilliant ideas that you have. So many, many years ago, I was having a conversation with Gary, and it's so funny. I can see all the little JCFs coming on everywhere. So I'm like, hi. Many years ago, I was having a conversation with Gary, and I was confused about a choice that someone was making. And he said to me, what are you confused about? And I was like, but this is business, and this is not joyful, what they're doing. He looked at me and he was like, yeah, it's business. And I honestly had no idea. Like, I was cocking my head like a little puppy going, what do you mean? And he's like, it's business. He said, Simone, people don't do business for the joy of it. I was like, yes, they do. And he was like, no, they don't, not in this reality. So he got me to have a look at that. I had a completely different point of view about what business is. And like I said before, to me, it's about creation. And creation has no definition. It's not a how, it's not a why, it's an energy, okay? So that's what I'm looking at business as. Now, and I might need my hopes and dreams bars run, what I would love is for every single business in the world to be using access consciousness tools. So what would that be like? And I'll tell you a little story. I went to a restaurant years ago with Gary in Brisbane, and we walked into the restaurant and this guy said, "Oh my God, you're Gary Douglas, aren't you? You're the author of Magic, You Are It, Be It." And he was like, yeah, like we weren't used to that. And we sat down to, he gave us his menu and he was like, "What would you like to eat?" And I was looking at the menu and I was like, "Oh, hang on a second." And he looked at me and he went, "Are you asking your body what it would like to eat?" "Yes, I am." And he was like, "Wow, that's so cool," And I looked at that and I was like, "Well, what if every single business was functioning from the tools?" We had a company in New Zealand at one stage. They sold white goods, fridges, dishwashers, etc. And they had two tools that their business were given. One was, how does it get any better than this? And one is, what else is possible? Two questions. And the manager, who did a bit of access, every single time they had someone walk in the shop and didn't buy something, he asked them to ask those two questions. How does it get any better than this and what else is possible? And every single time someone came in and bought something, he asked them to ask those same questions, and their sales increased. And guess what? The staff were happier. So that's my aim. That's my target, is to have access consciousness tools in every single business around the world. And there's so many ideas that so many of us have. And there's just a small group of JCFs compared to how many people there are in the world. And I would love to see so many people come and play and join us. Now, also, the next training is on in Napa Valley, which Heather is helping assist and organise. So we all like a glass of wine. It's nice in Napa Valley. And one of the things I'd like to say is, come along to the class no matter what. You don't have to be a JCF, but what I can tell you is the level of creation that occurs at one of these trainings will assist you in just being a facilitator. Now, am I manipulating you? Yes, absolutely, because I reckon when you come out of a 4-day class, you're going to want to be a JCF anyway, because it's so much fun. So I was wondering if there was any of the JCFs that wanted to pitch in and say anything that's been going on for you guys. We've got some long-termies here. I much prefer can we put it back on the other screen rather than just me?
I think you have to do that, Simone, just if you go up to, I think it's gallery view.
I don't know how it happened. All right, done. Thank you.
I've just changed it. It'll just come like this in the recording though. So in the recording, we'll all be able to see each other.
Yeah, I don't want to look at myself. I want to look at you guys.
I would love to, I could really just talk about this all day long. So I'll just share something briefly. I really can't say enough about being a Joy Business Facilitator. It has changed everything about my life and my business, and it really just like exponentialized everything that I'm creating. And I've just lately I've had this I feel like maybe I've just been willing to acknowledge more the change that I'm facilitating and just assisting people to create in their lives. And it's such a gift, like beyond the gift of like what it's been for me and my business. Like there's something lately that's showing up for me of just really seeing how much people get into creation from these classes and these tools that lights me up like nothing else. I love watching people go from feeling like they can't create or are not going to or judging or whatever to like exploding what they're creating and getting out of judgment with what they're creating. And it truly is one of the greatest gifts in my life to be able to be that with people and contribute that to people and be in those conversations. It's amazing.
One of the things I want to add to that too is that the manuals, I think, make it so much fun as well, because to me it's like the basic tools of access, but you're applying them to an area of life that most people think should be significant. I mean, at the beginning when Gary said to me, "Don't call it Joy of Business," and I said, "Why not?" And he went, "Because people won't come." But you know what? He also told Dane not to call it Being You, changing the world. He said people won't come, and they're coming. It just maybe it's taken a little bit longer. We could have called it something that this reality, embraced more. I mean, Joy of Business book, I think, is translated into 11 languages now, and we have a few more coming along. Not one language, including English, does it translate well, those 3 words, joy of business. People don't get it. So what if we were the catalyst, the source, the change that the world requires so that they can get that? Because I see so many people come along and they have this freedom in other areas of their life. And I know every other specialty class would have that same sort of story as well, that maybe people have a freedom, you know, with money and business, but they don't with their bodies, etc., or, you know, vice versa, whatever that is. But I see people come along and they have this such a controlling sense of business. And if you let go of control, it's amazing to see what can show up. And I've got to say, I've got over 100 Skype threads and I don't even count how many, but it is over 100. And one of my favorite Skype threads is the Joy of Business one. The amount of contribution that everyone bees together, it's like, I mean, you see Rachel will be like, help, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then everyone's like, and actually contributing to each other. And I love the energy of that. And that's what the world should be. To me, all the specialty classes, like I would highly recommend you go to every single facilitator training for all the specialty classes, because if you're going to be a kick-ass facilitator, you're going to gain something from every single one of these. And the contribution that we can be to each other, and that is my demand, no matter what it takes, no matter what it looks like, that all the specialty classes have that and be that under the Access umbrella. And Joy Business was the one that, you know, kicked it off, kicking and screaming. It's like, last facilitator training was interesting when we're like, right, now, and here's the gig to be a JCF. Poor Rebecca and Francesca sitting on stage with me, you know, getting pummeled with judgment and projections, etc. But, you know, the funny thing is, a lot of those people that reacted like that are now on here and are JCFs and loving it and having a great time. So it is about, you know, pushing people's buttons and let's move forward and let's create something different. So anyone else at the JCFs want to add something or say something, or also Joy Business Team, which are JCFs. So,
hey Simone, it's Lale.
Hey Lale.
It's funny, you kind of stole what I wanted to say.
Well, you can say it the way you would say it.
No, I mean, for me, I've been one of those weird birds that's loved business my whole life. It's been like in my blood, waking up every single day. And it was the greatest, I don't know, like excitement to know Joy Business existed in Access and what we keep learning. I mean, like we're facilitators, but it's like every day it's a new day. And I can't even thank this Joy Business team enough for all they be and create every single day. And I do have like 100 Skype, and the one I do love the most is the JCF one. And it really is like you wake up and you know people have your back.
Exactly. That's a really good way to describe it. Yeah.
You know, and it's not even just like something's going wrong. It's like you have a creation or you have a picture or you have something that you're putting out in the world. Maybe it's just a few words of just saying hello. And there's like 30 other people who are responding and, you know, just, I hate to use the word support, but it's like they're there for you no matter what. If you're having a good day, you're having a rough day, you're having a, how the heck do I get this message out in the world? And there they are. So I'm super grateful. And it just keeps changing. You know, I look at our manual or even our 101 manual from last June to how many variations of it have been created since then. So we're 6 months, 7 months into it. There's been like 3 or 4 variations of this. And it's because it keeps evolving as the world is evolving, Access is evolving, the tools are changing, the questions. So it's just like what it is. It's like business is us. We are business and the joy that we bring into it and evolving continuously. So I have just so much gratitude for this team, for who we be, what we do, and just the amazing beings that are there every day to just contribute to us.
Thank you. Well, refined judgment came out. We had to put it in the manual. It's like, hello, how many people have refined judgments in regards to business and everything? And that is times a godzillion where you destroy and uncreate it.
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. How many refined judgments do you have in regards to money and everything? And that is times a godzillion where you destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So let me introduce a few people as well. We've got Rebecca Holst. Do you want to wave or poke your tongue out, something? We've got Rebecca Holst, who's the creative producer of Joy of Business. And then we've got Emily Russell. Wave, just in case.
I waved, yeah.
Yeah. And we've got Emily Russell, who is the social media marketing guru of Joy of Business. We've got Melanie Mead down there in my corner. I don't know how it all shows up like that. She works with us on social media and on telecalls, etc. And then we've got Megan Hill is also on. She's not driving in a car. She lied to me. I saw her picture somewhere.
I couldn't find the phone number, so I'm like, I'm gonna stay. I'll be late.
Oh.
Oh, what a trooper.
We've got Megan here, who's a major contribution as well for everything that she be. She's a major contribution in the hub. But the thing is, you become a JCF, you actually have access to these people, not like 24/7, not like, hey, Megan, 1 a.m. in the morning, what up? I mean, like, we do regular telecalls. We have information we give you. We have lots of social media stuff and everything that we have available for you. So there's Megan. There's also, I think Justine's on the phone. Are you on the phone, Justine?
Yeah, I am. Sorry, I'm up in King's Cliff on the internet. So I have no internet up here. So I'm on the phone.
So Justine, the beautiful Justine, who you can't see right now but is on the phone, is actually our PR agent. She works with me personally. She works with Access Consciousness, and she also, Joy Business has employed her as well. Do you want to add anything, Justine, about how it's been working with Joy Business and the sort of the way the media has been receiving it? Because we've got a lot of
it's been
last year.
Yeah, it's been amazing, and it's been a crazy ride. And when initially Simone asked me to do this, I was like, how is that going to work? This is not how kind of PR works in this reality. You just take one person or one product and just work on that for a 6-month campaign. But this has been like, all right, Joy of Business and all these amazing facilitators, and our team's been pitching it out in the US and Australia, and it's been really well received. We've got some of the facilitators' regular spots on Thrive, which is Ariana Huffington's new website, and any of you can contribute to that as well. And I'm more than happy to put you forward. All I need is some topic ideas and a sample of your writing. And if you ever feel inspired, like a lot of media these days are looking for great content. So like my big tip would be just write as much as you can with a personal story and a few tips that people could take home and read it. And it's been going really well. We've had Emily just featured in like one of the leading business magazines in Australia called Business First, which is distributed to all the airline lounges across Australia. We've had Lale in lots of online websites, and we've had Heather on Mind Body Green, which goes out to about 4 million people with some amazing tips about balance. So yeah, it's something that I didn't know. Yeah, and it's something that I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but it's like, yeah, just to say yes and figure out how, and it's been awesome seeing the tools out there in the world.
I had to twist your arm a little bit. always push Juicy over the edge. I nicknamed her Juicy. Justine McKell, she's a great PR agent, and we call her Juicy, and she's brilliant. So there's just so much that you can play with here. I mean, and one of the ideas that a few people have had and, looked into, what if we did things like go into a business and they, paid a fee that you sort of evaluated what tools that you could do with their business, and you went in once a week or twice a week or did a full, week there or something like that, increasing their money flows and the productivity using the words that this reality uses. Like there's so many ideas that we have. We're also, Heather and Lale are very interested in creating the Joy Business for corporates as well, which is something that has been in mid-creation. So there's lots of ideas coming along. We're also launching, and I tried to find a booklet before we started this call and I couldn't find one. Rebecca, maybe you can get the picture up on your screen and share your screen or something. It's Put the Fun Back in Business Facilitators. There we go. Emily, yay. Putting the fun back in business. So It's a 16-page booklet. And the idea is that we have these. I mean, number one is don't make your business significant. So if you don't want to be like a fully fledged JCF, you can also become a put the fun back in business facilitator, which means you have to have done 2 choice of possibilities classes, 2 Joy Business 101 and 2 Joy Business 102. I sort of figure if you've done those 6 classes, then you've probably done some more classes and you can be up for being a put the fun back in business facilitator. It's a class that you can do that's under 4 hours. Oh, there you go. Eva's got a bag down there, put the fun back in business bag. So we've got lots of promo stuff. We've got pens. We've got all this stuff that we're trying to get out there into the world. And the way I look at this is it's just the beginning. Okay. This is really just the beginning. So if you want to be an Access Joy Business facilitator with the, Rebecca just put the chat up to everyone as well. So .com/fun little thing facilitator. Check it out. Okay. So does anyone have any particular questions that they want to ask about Joy Business?
I just wanted to say really quick, I am so grateful, Simone, for you and how you function with business and the team. And there's so much freedom to create with this. And it's really rare to be part of something where it's just like, yes, like we want to support you in what you want to create with this and put it out into the world. And what are your ideas? And it's such an incredible energy to be part of. And I just feel like I really can create anything with the Joy of Business. And I'm super grateful for that. It's a gift. So
cool. Yeah. You're welcome. Well, I look at it as I can't do this all on my own. And
you're not,
he can't do it all on his own. So come and play.
Yeah. And you're so willing to let us do that. Like you're not a control freak in that way of like, in that
way. Did you hear that? Did you disclaimer? In that way.
Control freak is a good thing.
Oh yes.
Right.
I think there's only one other person that's more of a control freak than me, and that's Gary. But you're right. It's like, and also the willingness to let it all go.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, as we had a conversation a while ago with the Joy Business team, it felt like 5 years ago, but I think it was a year and a half ago or something, because it felt like everything was sort of coming to me, that it was like, I have to be the one who makes the choice at the end, or the decision more or less. And we had lunch together in Australia, most of us, and I was like, okay, guys, this is not going to work. I do not have the time for this and I can't do this. You have the green light. Go. Create, just choose. And they were like, really? And Rebecca was the one who sort of looked at me and was like, really? We have the green light? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, wow. And she sort of went into the energy of what does that look like to have a green light and just go and start creating. And I know Emily's made comments as well. And it is, every single one of you has a different awareness of what you can create. And all of those awarenesses together is a massive amount of contribution and possibilities that we can all have access to. So that's, like I said, might need my hopes and dreams bars run, but I'm continuing to head in that direction, no matter what it takes and no matter what it looks like. So you guys in, even if you come or not, it's like, let's do it. Everything that doesn't allow that to show up, strong on, create it, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot on it, and shorts, boys and meals. So does anyone else have any questions or anything that they want to add, another JCF or?
I would love to add a thing or two. Did we have a question?
No, go Katarina, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, it's such a gift to facilitate these classes, and as always, it's like facilitating yourself with your own business every time you're facilitating any of the specialty classes. There are amazing specialty classes as well within Joy Business, and the level of change that I see and we see in people who choose these classes it's amazing to see how much larger everyone's world gets, and also to clear all or many of the points of view around money and business. It creates such a freedom to create something completely different. And the feedback that we get from these classes is also, it's off the charts really. So people reporting that they earn, double income the month after and stuff like that. It's so much fun. So I'm really, really thrilled to facilitate even more of these classes. And you, Simone, thank you. And the team, you are amazing. And about the manuals as well, they are such beautiful gems with a lot of content and a lot of processes and tools that you can't even almost not get through them in a class, but you have the manuals and you can use them over and over again. And I just wanted to add how brilliant and beautiful you also handle the translations of the manuals, even with all these versions and all the updates. And I've been facilitating these classes in different European countries where we needed to have the manual translated as well. So thank you so much. That really opens up so much for more people to access these beautiful tools. So I'm super grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Katarina. I forgot, we've got Sarah Watt up here. She's also part of the staff. And I think Mariana she is one of our interns. She's also on the phone there. So, and there's a few, I don't know if Peggy's on here. There's lots of staff. Big. Oh, Peggy, there you are. You waved.
So, and can I say something too, Simone?
Yes.
One of the things I think when I think of like anytime I read the manual or go to a class, and I finally have my first one scheduled for March, is, you know, the thing of like when you facilitate something, it changes for you so much when you're facilitating. I mean, I know so in the areas of business and money and creation, like I feel like every time we get on a call with the facilitators, every time I open the manual, every time we have a meeting, like it changes so much in my world around those areas. And when you facilitate, and then people ask you questions, and when you facilitate them, like your whole world changes so much too. So it's such a gift because you get to change other people's worlds, and at the same time, like your reality, like Heather said, her business and her, like your reality gets so huge with all of the tools. So that's really been a gift.
So Emily, let me ask you a question. How did you feel about business when you were first employed by Joy?
It was like, I grew up in a family where truly like entrepreneur was like a dirty word in our family. Like it had this really weird energy. And I remember when I first talked to Megan about working with social media for access and everything. And she's like, well, the first place we kind of need help is Joy of Business. And I was like, oh my God, like I don't know anything about it. But it was my one book from Access that I had the most earmarks and underlines. But I was like a stay-at-home mom at the time. So I was like, I don't get how this applies to me, because I didn't get the whole business is your life thing, even though I was probably reading it. But it was so marked up, and it was everything. Like it was one of my favorite Access book. But when she first asked, I was like, oh, I hope I know what I'm doing. I remember being on the first calls and talking to you and being like, I don't know if I have any clue about business. So it can all change a lot.
Hey, Rebecca, you've got a similar story too about I think one of the first meetings we ever had with Joy Business. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. And I can't lip read. I'm really bad at lip reading, always been really bad at that. Sarah, I think you have to unmute Rebecca.
You're not muted on my end, honey. Your microphone's, I don't know.
Okay. Well, while Rebecca,
lip reader either.
While she's fixing that up, is there anyone else on here that wants to add anything? I'm not going to throw you out there, Melanie.
Hey, Simone, this is Rach.
Hey, Rachel.
I suppose what I got from this is that anyone can do business. And I facilitated my first class a couple of months ago in London. And there was a potter came, beautiful potter, and had the most amazing wear. And so basically when she came to class, she was just about to give up on her business and her dream. And it's such a cool story. I didn't even tell you this. So about 5 days later, I said to her in class, hey, how about you actually get kids parties and start doing pottery with them and allow them to make their own gifts. And so she did. The following week, she did a kids party and the moms bought some of her product. Then she did a Christmas party and invited adults to make their own Christmas decorations. And it's watching her. She put a post up on Facebook saying, today I love my life. So her whole business turned around from just using this, because I carry it around with me in my bag. And her whole business changed from asking, what can I contribute to you today? What can you contribute to me today? and what can I be and do different today to make money with my business right away. Like that, it's so simple, we might miss it.
Yeah, that's the thing. But that's what I actually get. Thank you so much, Rachel. It's like, I mean, to me, it was always really simple. But the amount of times you do a class and what you're talking about, you're thinking, oh, yeah, this is really easy or this is simple. And someone comes up with tears in their eyes or is just like, oh, my goodness, you've just changed everything for me. Because literally business is the way that you can create money to create a lifestyle that you would like to lead and have. And as Gary Douglas says, what if the purpose of life was just to have fun? Are you? It's like, so what if you could increase your business like 100,000 times fold? What if, I always talk about, what if you could have as many businesses and as many revenue streams as you have sticky notes open or Skype threads or programs on your computer? What if that was the amount of revenue streams you could actually have? So everything that doesn't allow that to show up for all of you now, today, we destroy and uncreate it.
Yes.
Right from good and bad, POC and POD and shorts, boys and beyonds. I think Rebecca can speak now. I mean, she was always able to speak. I think we can hear her now.
Yes, I was muted and I forgot what you need to press to unmute. But in my very first Story of Business meeting, Simone came up with a question that she got from Gary that was, what possibilities are available you have not yet instituted? And I thought this meeting was great and it was amazing, but I had no ideas and I didn't have anything to contribute. So I just got on my emails and started flicking through old emails, and I found like 10 different press things that we could submit Joy of Business to that I just thought, we'll talk about it later. And then Simone and I met later to go over this meeting, and she asked me how I thought it went. And I was like, well, I don't think I contributed a lot, but I came up with these 10 different ideas that we can do. Which was, you know, the question, what possibilities are available that we've not yet instituted? And I was being it. And so what I realized was that I had an innate capacity to energetically answer the question that was being asked and create it, even though I had no idea what I was doing. And I thought I was doing a crap job at my very first meeting for Joy of Business. So it's just been amazing.
Yeah, I see that it's like, it is about you being you. I think Joy of Business puts you into the being so present and so aware seat. You cannot get away from it, because it's like every single movement of your whole entire life is about business. It's about your life.
And it's what's really amazing. Like, I mean, we've hired so many interns, and thank you. Someone just said, Rebecca, you never do a crap job. Thank you. But this is really what it is. Like, I mean, with all the people that we work with and with the Joy of Business facilitators, this spreads out. Like, it literally leaches into every area of your life. These tools just sneak in, and this is just one of the ways that you can sneak in the Joy of Business tools to somewhere where you might have otherwise avoided them completely and utterly. And it kind of just explodes in your life. Like, if I look at Melanie, when we first met her and what she was choosing, and I just kind of like social media and playing a little bit on Canva, and she's freaking incredible in the way that she's exploded and changed your life. And I had a conversation with Peggy when she first came on of, I want to be able to create emails like you. I never thought that I can't be as fast as you, Rebecca, but what would it take? And now she's out creating me. Her emails are much better than mine. They're far superior. And like, this is the kind of possibilities that are available when you add access consciousness to your business, when you add joy to your business, when you add you to your business. And these success stories, these stories of change that come up in your classes, like, it's not just me, it's not just Simone, it's not just the Joy of Business team, it's not just Katerina and Heather that have done classes for 2 years now. They happen in your first class. They happen when you first share a Joy of Business tool. Like, could you imagine what it would be like if you walked down the street and someone signed said, do you want to come in here today? Do we have what you'd like to offer? Or at the restaurant, you know, having access consciousness tools like with Gary. And like, could you imagine if your business in your everyday corporate business life, and you were asking your brand new intern straight out of school, what is it that you know and you'd like to contribute to this company? like, these are the kind of possibilities that we get to change in the world. And this is what really excites me. It's like a joy of business tool in every business around the world.
Me
That
too.
is really what I'd like to create with this.
I mean, even imagine them using the energy pools. That is a golden tool in itself. So, and also joy of business, it's not about like laughing hysterically and every day turning out great. It's a little bit like the Access mantra. All of life comes to me, the ease, joy, and glory, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Joy of business is the willingness to change anything, the willingness to choose everything, the willingness to receive, the willingness to be the difference that you be. And the willingness to know when it's time to go, okay, this isn't working anymore, and choose something different. It's the willingness to be totally aware and present with every single choice you make. And like I said, the willingness to have all of it, been there, done it all. And no judgments, no refined judgments, no judgments of you, no judgments of you in business. So how many judgments do you have of you being in business? And everything that is times the godzillion, where you destroy and uncreate it.
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all names, shorts, boys and beyonds. How many judgments do you have of you being a joy business facilitator, a JCF? And everything that is times a godzillion, where you destroy and uncreate it. Yes. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all names, shorts, boys and beyonds. And how many refined judgments, which the refined judgments are like the energetic judgments. They're the ones that you misidentify and misapply and call it an awareness when it's actually a refined judgment. So how many refined judgments are you functioning from you being in business and being a joy business facilitator? And everything that is where you destroy and uncreate it and allow the adventure of living to show up for you and your money flows and your business and everything that is times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all names, shorts, boys and beyonds. So does anyone else have anything they want to add? Any other questions? Anything at all?
I have a question.
Yes.
Simone. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Whoever's talking now sounds like a robot.
Hey, Deborah, you sound like a robot. Can you hear me?
Okay. Still sound like a robot, Deborah. Deborah?
Hey.
No?
Love you, bye-bye.
Maybe type your question.
Simone, I have a question.
Yeah,
can I
Chantel,
jump in?
I know you've got one too, Susanna. So let's go to Chantel first. No, Chantel, go ahead.
I've had a business for 3 years. It's been very moderately successful. So I'm super interested in getting involved in this. I mean, 100%. Because it's not working. And the name of my business is called Thrive. So that's ironic in itself. And I'm a facilitator, yes. And so I'm interested in getting involved, however, but the part I didn't actually appreciate until now was that it's not just helping my business, it's actually helping embody sounds like a lot of women and men that are entrepreneurs that want to actually, business using their passion. That actually really excites me.
Yeah. No, it is. And it's a lot of, I wouldn't say passion, because that one of the things that we talk about in passion is it means, Jesus Christ to be tacked upon the cross, because that was his passion. But it's the awareness of what you can create in life. And I see so many people, especially humanoids, going to the judgment of themselves, like I said at the beginning, of what they haven't created, rather than acknowledging what they have created and what is possible. I mean, one of my favorite books is by Richard Branson. One of his books called Business Done There. No, what is it? Business Done There. Anyway, one of his latest books. It's brilliant. And there's so many stories in it that he talks about. And he's going for these major deals, and these companies are saying, no. Business stripped bare, that's it. And he never takes no for an answer. He keeps continuing to ask questions, because one of the things I see is he doesn't go to the wrongness of him. And it's like, if we all stop going to the wrongness of ours and functioning from the refined judgments, how much would we truly create?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And when you say that your business is moderately successful, the other thing that I see that happens a lot too is that people get comfortable with that moderately successful. So you're actually a success in this reality if you manage to pay your bills on time. Maybe if you have a little bit left over and you buy a more expensive bottle of champagne than the cheaper bottle of champagne, you're considered a success. What if that was just the beginning? What if paying your bills was just something that occurred and you always had, way too much money and never enough? So what energy, space, and consciousness can you be that would allow you and your business to have way too much money and never enough? And everything in day is times of Godzilla, we destroy and uncreate it.
Yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pock and parona and shorts, boys and beyonds. And it's so much fun to see people being empowered to realize that, yes, they have been creating this place of comfort of where they are in their business. And there is a lot of women involved. And you know who you also get? Husbands. I get so many husbands that come along because their wife has been going to access classes and they've been talking about access classes and they don't want to go, but they'll go, oh, I'll go to that business one. And the last one I did in India was amazing. We had quite a few husbands in the class. And this one guy came out and he was like, came back, we had a break and he came back in, he was like, wow. And he was like, this stuff really works. And he said, I just went out to make a phone call and he was in the middle of getting sued by his brother and it was this massive court case and everything. And the local guy, like the local judge in his village at the courthouse rang him and said, hey, I've heard what's happening. Come and see me when you get back. And he said, I will help you do whatever you can to get over this because this shouldn't be happening, blah, blah, blah. And he basically realized that possibilities were showing up from him just sitting in class. And so you do get a lot of husbands, which is really cool. And the wives get so happy that their husbands are finally doing something with access consciousness. So, cool. It's fun. You get a real diversity. Like we've had some very, very successful business people, CEOs, people who have, David Kubis, the lawyer in Austria, he said that he went to a taster event that I did in Stockholm, Sweden one night, and it changed his entire business. He was saying to me the other day, he said, I haven't even been to any of your other classes. I went to a taster and I changed everything from what you were the tools that you gave out.
And I just want to ask one other question. I know you wrote a book recently and I just finished one myself. And did these tools help launching your book?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Getting out of debt joyfully. And I was smart enough to hire some very cool people who have great awareness of how to contribute to that and let them fly with it.
Thanks.
So, yes. So Susanna, you had a question or something you wanted to add?
No, I just was moving.
Oh, you were just like stretching. I thought you were like, hey, me.
Yes, I am here.
Deborah, do you want to see if you can talk again?
We answered our question over messages.
Okay, cool. We're all good. So
but
does anyone...
Laurence wants to talk. I can see her waving. She keeps waving at us. Laurence?
Hello, everybody. I'm a French DCF since June, so it's quite recent. And I wanted to talk about my experience with this great team, because at the beginning I didn't know anything about what to do to create a class, to call people, to prepare something, add the manual and so on. And with this great team, I call them the dream team because it's a team. I can ask for anything and I get quick answers. And also the activity with Justine about writing articles for websites. It's very new for me. It's a new activity and something I become to love to do. And it's so amazing to see some articles published on an Australian website. I'm in France, but it's very weird to be present over the seas for me. And I'm very proud and satisfied, and I want to go on with this team and discover new things and do new activities, and it's very funny for me and so joyful. So thank you all, and come on to the team with us, come and play with us with the joy of business.
And And how can you refuse when it's asked in such a beautiful accent? Like, seriously, it's like Laurence should be our spokesperson with that accent. It's so sexy. Thank you so much, Laurence. And you've been an absolute pleasure as well. It's like your level of gratitude that you have will always increase the possibilities that can show up.
Okay. Cool.
Anyone else? I know Lauren is on here too, our Joy Business Mama facilitator. You might have kitties in the background.
Sorry, we're a little in chaos land with the twins this morning, so it's been a bit noisy. So I've been muted.
So did you want to add anything though, Lauren? I know you did a couple of classes for mamas, which is something that we looked at, is how we can, like, what have you got that we could do? Like, she's the mother of these twins. So it's like, all right, so what if she did Joy Business for Mums? Because how many mums are so creative and they had kids and then now they think that they can't do something, which is totally incorrect. It's like there's so much that's possible. So it's sort of like another avenue that we opened up. It's like Joy Business and Corporates, Joy Business for Mums, Joy Business, blah, 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 whatever it is that you have. And it's like we can, play with that energy. So I don't know, Lauren. Yeah.
I've played a lot with the specialty classes that you guys have created for the Joy Business facilitators and just tweaked them a bit for the specialty of moms and really, like, it's been so much fun to see moms that think that when they liked business or they wanted to start a business or whatever and they thought that had to change or stop when they had kids, to go into this space that, like, I really would like them to know that they can function from all the time, which is like using that to your advantage, not using it to stop you. So the Joy Business, like the specialty classes and the 101 have, I don't know how, just kind of getting the energy of that. Like, I don't know how to put that into words, but invited them. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. And we have a bunch of specialty classes that are available for you to do as well. And we give you, I think Rebecca's writing them up there, creating your own financial reality. There's 7 easy ways to make money. How fast can you type, Rebecca? Because I can't remember the rest of them. But these are shorter classes.
I could just say them.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's also the 3 people you need to make your business successful. There's a debate on what we're calling it, about leading and generating a joyful creative team. And there's also
the one that nobody wanted to go to. We were like, nobody wanted the class leading and creating a joyful team. Okay, so what else can we call it and manipulate them into getting the same tools?
It's not to be yet, but we're still looking. We will not give up until everyone has amazing teams around the world. And then the last one is getting out of your own way with business and money.
So there's lots of fun extra specialty classes that you can add to your repertoire as well. So
and only JCS can do this. It doesn't exist anywhere else in the world.
So I think that's about it from me. Does anyone else have any other questions or anything? Fabiana, yes. Are you waving or?
No, I have a question for you.
There used to be this band in Australia, which I thought was such a brilliant name for a band. It was called Drowning Not Waving. Someone's in the water. Drowning Not Waving. So.
I still couldn't find the raising your hand button, so I had to wave. So I have a question. I just found out, or it came to my 10 seconds ago, that I'm more on the X-Men scale. So one of the things that I've been looking into is how to create a business or how to go about business more in that realm. So what kind of tools are available? Any place that you can guide me in that direction? Because not even do I function in this reality, but I'm like even way out there where telepathy, I signed up for 5 days of access without even like reading the stuff. I was like, sign me up, give me everything, because, got this all the information. And I don't, when I see people like building businesses, like on social media and stuff, I kind of related to like, you know, in this reality of what dating is, you know, you kind of like chit chat and you go on dates and I'm like, you know, no, that doesn't work for me. So how do I, you know, create a business when the majority of people function from that reality and I don't?
Okay, so all the refined judgments that you have, how everybody else creates a business and how you create a business where you destroy and uncreate it.
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and potto, known shorts, boys and beyond. So the one thing that you did say there is, you know, this part doesn't work for me. So find what does. It's like ask. It's like maybe you're the person who's a great connector and talking to people is what creates classes for you. And it's like maybe you do it a different way, but it's like you do not have to create your business the way somebody else is doing it. If we did that, we'd all have the same business. And it's like, I mean, people go to industry standard. What if there was no industry standard? How would you, if you were creating your business today, what would you choose? And keep asking that question every single day. If I was creating my financial reality today, what would I choose? If I was creating my classes today, what would I choose? And have a look at what other people are doing and don't judge it. But if there's something that shines brightly and you're like, oh, I love what Emily did with this. And it's like, then take it, steal it. It's like we steal from each other all the time. That's what we do. And it's like, because there's brilliance that other people are gifting. So take it, grab it and run with it and then make it yours. Because whatever your awareness is on what you can create, and if you function from being you, it's like you will have more. Because the thing is, if you're being you and how you create, then you receive more. Being and receiving are like brother and sister. They're holding hands and they are a world of possibilities. And you cannot receive if you're not being you, okay? And this is what I love about the whole interaction with all the specialty classes. So we have the Being You facilitators and like we have the X-Men facilitators. If you haven't been to one of Diva's classes, I would highly recommend that you jump onto one of her classes as well. She's absolutely phenomenal. And she's done a few telecalls as well. So if it's not close to you geographically, you could always jump on one of her telecalls. You've got the class with Gary and Diva. I think it's in May, around that time. April. See, it is around May, April. In April, that'll be live streamed from Houston. So I recommend going to that as well. But the greatest gift I can say, because this is not like a Joy Business class that we're doing right now. This was sort of an invitation to being a JCF and the questions you had about that. The greatest tool I can say is be you. Don't judge you and don't judge others. Be willing to receive the contribution and the possibilities and the questions that everybody has and choose for you. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. So
I was just wondering if anybody has questions about the JCF class coming up in Napa.
What's the best wine there? What's the best winery, Heather?
Oh gosh, that is a really tough question. I could rattle off a list.
I can answer this question. There's 5 of them, and they're all on the PDF of all the info that should definitely make you come. So I'm going to put that in the email coming, because if that doesn't sell you, then I don't quite know what else is going to sell you on becoming a JCF.
Yeah, and I have to say I have not been to all of them. I have not fully done my due diligence in the Napa Valley, but I hope to have some of you come along.
Done by the time you get there.
Well, I was really hoping for
this is really important.
That support team, in June.
So I think Arlene actually had a more serious question, maybe.
Okay. We'll stop talking about wine.
So Simone, with the prereqs, the original Joy of Business Foundation and advanced we did with that, do those qualify for the prereqs?
Yes, I think so. That will qualify as one of the classes.
So if you did either Joy of Business Foundation, that is now replaced by the 101, and that does count towards your prerequisites. If you did the Joy of Business Advanced, that would consider being a 102 class, and that counts. If you did one of the older ones, like the that was just a 2-day class, and it was done in like 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you did that class isn't updated enough to be considered a prerequisite.
Okay. No, it was the one with you, Simone. We did the foundation, I think you did the telecall series online, and then telecall, and then the advanced class in Vancouver.
Yeah, no, I think that counts as one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you have to do Joy Business 101 and 102, and you can do it with any of the JCFs there. If you're going to become a JCF, you have to do at least one of the 101s with me and one of the 102s with me. But then you can pick any of these wonderful, amazing JCFs. And a lot of them have done the 101s via telecall. So if it's not, if you're not close to them, and if you want a Joy Business 101 class near you, ask us, email team@accessjoybusiness.com, and we will find a JCF for you.
And we do have, Katarina and I are doing a 101 and 102 class in Napa directly before the facilitator training. So if you, want to come and spend a whole 8 days in one of the most terrible places on the planet.
Tasting the wine.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, does anyone else have anything else? We've been on here for nearly an hour chatting about Joy Business. How does it get any better than that? So I would love all of you and more to come and play with us. Even just check out a Joy Business 101 class if you haven't already. I guarantee you're going to get way more out of it than what you think you will.
Well, and Simone, does the Napa Valley, you need to have all the qualifications, right? So I would have to be a certified facilitator before I could go to Napa Valley.
Yes, you would have to be at CF before you can go. Yeah.
And so in the we've got a bit of background noise. I have no idea who that is either. But if I keep talking, hopefully you can't hear it. So if you want to know what the prerequisites are for the Joy of Business classes, they are all on the website, and we're going to put it in the follow-up emails too. So if you're a CF, you're definitely going to get this information, and we're also going to put it in the follow-up email to everyone that registered. So don't feel like you have to have your memory all figured out. You have to bookmark all those links now. We will provide that information for you. We'll make sure you know what's up.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, and thank you for your contribution. Joy team, the JCFs, I love you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.